リスト。
What's booming, y'all? It's your boy Shenko Fluid, and this is from Hate Army Watch, and so DSP has a bone to pick with capitalism. Big ups to Hate Army Watch. I'll put the original video in the description. So yeah, I don't know where we're supposed to be going with this, but let's see. Let's just hear Phil talk. Let me get my 2 cents, and then that's it. We'll find some entertainment in it. Let's do it.
Okay, and the responses are, oh, this is business. Oh, this is how it is in the industry. Don't you understand the gaming industry? Man, it's like people were born yesterday, right? And it's like, you know what? Fuck you. No, really. And I mean that sincerely to anyone who has this fucking stupid, jaded...
And it's like, what is this thing where he's acting like he's getting mad at the, he's getting mad for the John Everyman or something. Like, again, this is what happens when you don't have human interaction, because you're pouring emotion into nothing. You're pouring emotion into nothing for nobody. Okay? We're just sitting here laughing at you like, what the fuck are you talking about, Phil? What are you talking about, sir? Like, you're saying F you, but like, to who? For what?
Oh, it's all fine attitude. Go fuck yourself. Because you're a piece of shit, and you're the reason the industry is how it is. When you see evil happening around you, and you are complacent, you are part of the systematic problem that allows it to exist.
Oh, just like you saw... Just because you knew about Mr. Wiz and what the stuff that he did and you didn't say anything? Because, I mean, I just had a video where you stated multiple times about Mr. Wiz and about how you knew, about how everybody knew, and you didn't say nothing while it was going on. And I don't want to hear that stuff, that excuse that it was the 90s, that it wasn't documented, because we got plenty of footage of your mug dishing out dollars to every person that clapped your cheeks like LTG does when he uses his own Saturn stick. So again, the stuff that you just said could be applied to you also. Because again, I'm sorry, that's something that I don't like. You knew that type of stuff was going on, and you didn't say jack squat. And you didn't have the balls to go ahead and stand up for those people that were allegedly abused. Because I'm going by your word, Phil. You said you knew it happened. You said everybody knew it happened. You gave details on what happened. So that entire time, you knew that stuff was going on. And you didn't say jack squat. Just like the Me Too fiasco. This ain't political, it's logic. You see a whole bunch of celebrities talking about how they got touched by a dude. But they sat there and they took all the awards. They took the money. They took the roles. They sat there in front of a bunch of all these girls' faces and became their idols. But didn't say nothing about the abuse while it was going on. All those other women that didn't get that same treatment. Abused. They could have been, which could have been prevented if those other people said something. You're just as complicit, Phil. Because you said you knew that stuff was going on and you didn't say nothing. You've had a platform for 13 years and didn't say anything. The only time you brought it up is when you felt slighted that you weren't as successful as the Cannon brothers. And then even then, you're going to sit there and... What's the word I'm looking for? Pussyfoot around the subject. You're just as complicit, dude. So everything you're saying, apply it to yourself.
Okay? If you don't call it out when you see it, if you don't fucking say it's wrong, fix it, it will never change.
Yeah, so why didn't you say anything when you saw the abuse that you were privy to? Why didn't you say anything, Phil? Come on. You knew that there was some funky stuff going on, and you didn't say anything about it. I mean, since you're the one that's saying this stuff, so I'm holding you to your own fire.
If you just say, Man, it's part of the system, man. Well, man, you're a piece of dog shit and no one fucking cares about your opinion.
Okay, just like you said, man, it was the 90s. Man, there wasn't that much documentation. Man, the technology, you couldn't, you had to have documented with police. Same thing, Phil. Same energy.
The world should not be this fucked, okay? So why do you think corporations can get away with this? Because you let them, because you're a lazy fuck. You are a literal lazy douchebag and no one cares about you. Shut the fuck up.
You see what I'm saying? Like, is he trying to make a point or is he trying to insult somebody? Like, what are you trying to, what are you doing, Phil? This is what happens when you let your gouty lips just flap. Are you insulting somebody? Are you speaking to somebody specifically? Or are you trying to make a point? Because I don't understand what's going on here. I don't understand where this is going.
Okay? Activision Blizzard should not be allowed to promise the world to its employees and then fire them. Period. When you tell someone, I'm going to do this and this and this, and then you don't follow through, but that person gave you the work that they said they would.
This is a little too personal, and I smell it. Like, I can smell it from a mile away. He's going to circle back and make this about him.
Give you in conjunction with what you promised, that should be a lawsuit. That should be, you're fucked. You promised me something. I'm suing your ass because you lied to me. And I wasted my time and my effort and my life for you. And now you're tossing me away like yesterday's garbage. I'm suing your ass into oblivion.
This is way too personal, man. This is getting way too personal.
Okay? These companies should not be fucking able to do this. It happened to me. Okay? I worked for a major company. A helicopter company. It was called...
Here we go. Here we go.
Aftermarket support for helicopters, where people would buy, or I say people, companies would own a helicopter, okay? They're flying it around, they're using it. Uh-oh, things are breaking down, parts are wearing out. My company would do the logistics. Basically, we would say, okay, we're going to find the parts you need. We're going to either get them repaired or we're going to buy you new ones. We're going to send them to you. We're a one-stop shop. Whatever you need for your helicopter, we get for you, okay? I was supposed to be customer support. I was only supposed to be doing line level work, talking with these people operating helicopters, okay, and getting them their parts. That was my job. After working there for 2.5 years, I was told, we see potential for you. You're better than just working customer support. So what we're going to do is we're going to put you into an exclusive training program for continuous improvement. We're going to have it so that you have training so you can revamp the business from ground up. You can look at the process of everything we do in our company and map it out and find bottlenecks in the process, identify shortcomings, improve the system so that our company runs more efficiently. We're going to have you actually trained to do this and do it. And once you do it, we're going to promote you and have you do this exclusively. You'll get paid more money. You'll be able to go outside of just here and go to other parts of the corporation.
Okay, I seriously doubt that they were blowing DSP this hard. Like, I'll give DSP the credit. I say that, yes, someone has come up to him and said that they have potential and they would like to see him in a higher capacity role. I can imagine that. Not that you were going to go ahead and revamp the entire company, that you were going to streamline the processes for the entire company, that you're going to find bottlenecks in the system and fix them for the entire company. Okay? I don't understand how a CSR would be approached to go ahead and revamp processes for facilities, payroll, personnel, legal, and whatnot. Phil, there's already a person that does that. It's called the CEO. Again, I could believe if they said they want to have you as like a team lead or a supervisor or something like that, even a manager. I'll go as that far because there's some pretty slow-witted managers out there. But there's no way that somebody told you, yeah, we're going to have you revamp the entire company from that of a CSR. There's way too many levels for you to go through to get that type of power, buddy.
To do it, you'll be one of our experts, okay? So you're one of our up-and-comers. We identify your talent. We identify your initiative. We want to reward you by giving you and putting you into this program, okay? So I said, okay, sounds good to me. Let's do it. I worked extra hours. I worked way above my pay grade. The work I was doing was people getting paid double what I get paid were doing the same work. Yeah, I was getting paid the pay of a customer service rep. Okay.
But that's your dumbass fault. Why didn't you say anything? If you was working double, I mean, if you was working double, you know, if you were working double and you weren't getting as much money as other people, that would have been your opportunity to go ahead and negotiate a higher salary. Or if not, take your skills and go to another company. Like, I don't know. He has like this mother's teat situation thing going on. Like, he finds one thing and he's just gonna latch onto that forever and ever and ever to sustain him. Like everything, like it was just like with YouTube, he's just gonna be a YouTuber and latch onto that and just leech off of that until he could. Then the adpocalypse happened, so then he went to being a live streamer on Twitch. He just latched onto that. Now he got unpartnered from Twitch. Now he's back to being a full-time YouTuber. Get off the teat, man. Learn how to navigate and become your own boss. Promote yourself. Like, just stop finding. Like, I don't know. It's like a, again, mother's teeth situation. I don't know how else to explain this.
Okay? I did this for 2 years. First, I went through an extensive training program where I was training for it while still doing all of my normal work at my job. I was basically doing 2 jobs. I was juggling the training and still doing all the work of a CSR at exactly the same time. Then, for a year, they took me out of my job of a CSR and had me do the continuous improvement work at the company. I revamped the entire process from start to finish. The company became way more efficient.
Again, I highly doubt that you've done it for the entire company. For your department, yes, I can give you that. For your department, I could understand that. But not the entire company. That is the CEO's job. And even then, below him, there's various vice presidents, you know, executive vice presidents, senior vice presidents, directors, managers. There's too many levels for you to go through for you to be the one to streamline the entire company. Because again, if you were doing all that stuff and you were still at the level of a customer service rep, that is your dumbass fault. You should have went and taken your resume and went to a company and got what you deserved. But you decided to, again, you decided to suckle on the helicopter company's teeth, expecting them to just hand everything to you. I'm not going to say that they shouldn't have given you anything, but the thing is, if you saw that you weren't getting what you deserved, you should have asked for it, and then when you didn't get it, you should have went someplace else. But you stood there like a moron.
And started saving tons of money. When I was done, okay? When I was done with this, the VP, the vice president, who was in charge of the company, left the company. He was the one who promised me all of this. He left the company. They didn't know what to do with me anymore.
Ding, 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 ding. So right then and there, ladies and gentlemen, I love when DSP just is. I love when DSP just shits on his own argument. So right there, DSP, that's what happened. There was a vice president there who had a plan for you. He was the one who had the plan for you. He left the company or he got fired. Well, he's not there anymore. So they're not going to go ahead and follow through with his processes if he's not there anymore. So the person that came in didn't know what to do with you. Because again, that was the last VP's problem. Thank you, DSP. Now you just made your entire argument null and void.
Or they said, well, he can't just do customer service work anymore. We had him not do that for a year and everyone else, they replaced him. What do? They put me into a new department and within 2 months laid me off.
That's what happens, DSP. Usually when leadership leaves, you know, when you cut off the head, the body follows. And probably they went ahead and started revamping, reorganizing. They didn't know what to do with you. And you were next in line. And I'm pretty sure, the fact that you said that, I'm pretty sure that this was able to, like, people were able to see this coming. And yet again, you didn't take your talents and go someplace else. You decide to sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait until somebody handed you something in a silver platter. And just like with everything else in life, it just passed you by. Thank you, DSP, again, for shitting all over your own argument.
So I busted my ass. I worked my ass off. I did double work for 2 years. I did work that was above my pay grade, never got paid for it. I literally got a big award. You went above and beyond what needed to be done at your job. This is a complimentary award. And then in 2 months from getting their award, they laid me off.
Okay, you got an award. You got an award that said you went in above and beyond. Okay, you placed 4th place at Evo. Okay, you got a trophy for winning a Tekken tournament at FYE. Okay. What does that mean, dude? Again, if you felt like you weren't getting what you deserve, why didn't you just go someplace else? You're sitting there waiting for these people to give you stuff. That's his problem with capitalism. Capitalism, you got to go get it. It's not I'm not talking about politics, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of people have a problem with capitalism, but it's actually corporatism. That's the thing you have a problem with. You should have taken your talents and went someplace else. If you was out there, you was hot shit, you could have found somebody to pick your ass up and you could have got a better job. But no, you wanted to sit there like a kid and you wanted that promotion. You wanted that, big company car or whatever.
Okay? So, when you are a lazy motherfucker who doesn't do that extra work, who doesn't go into that position where you bust your ass to try to get ahead because you're promised the world, you were not the one that got mistreated. And you say, oh, it's part of the process, man. It's just part of corporate America. Fuck you. And I mean this sincerely.
It is part of the process. Like, I don't understand. Like, again, you only went, see, this is the problem with this guy. You only went ahead, you only went above and beyond because you were promised something. You should have had that mentality from the get-go. You should be applying that mentality every time you're doing something. You give it 110%, not because you were promised something, because that's what you're about. That's why your streams the way that they are. You won't sit there and apply no effort for anything unless you see the dollar signs ahead. So until then, you just sit there and just mauled. Dave, you're not the only one that's been mistreated in the workplace. A lot of people have. I'll give you a perfect example. I'll give you a personal story. So you know how I told you guys about how I used to work as, work in the fire sprinkler systems and whatnot. I didn't want to do that shit. I got strong-armed into doing it with my dad. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to go to Polytechnic University in Brooklyn, and I wanted to take up aeronautical engineering. I think that's what it was. Yeah, aeronautical engineering. There we go. Even though I sucked at math, I was willing to bust my ass and do good to go and get that degree in aeronautical engineering and work on planes and what have you. So I got strong-armed into working in this fire sprinkler systems company with my dad. And the problem why I didn't want to work, because there started becoming a time where the paychecks weren't coming in on time. Okay? So I'm sitting there busting my ass with my dad with this anxiety, because the thing about fire sprinkler systems, like, I'm not trying to shit on other trades, but like, let's say if your plumbing wasn't working, you had to go ahead and not use the sink, or, not flush that toilet at the time, just wait a little bit. You couldn't do that with sprinkler systems. Sprinkler systems always had to be active because they needed to be working in the event of a fire. Now, the worst part about this was, at the time where I started getting into this, because shortly after, I wasn't getting paid, I didn't do what I'm telling Phil to do. I didn't get up and leave when I saw the chance, because our boss at the time said, look, if you go ahead and become an inspector, I'll give you an automatic raise. And I got blinded by that. And this is when I was like 18, you know what I mean? I was with my grandma. My grandma never really bothered me. So technically I was kind of living by myself. I was paying my own bills. I was going out do what I do. And I was like, oh, more money for me to hang out and go on dates and what have you. So I was like, yeah. Then when I became a inspector, this was around the time where there was a fire in New York City, and it was the Deutsche building. And around this time, when that fire happened, 2 firefighters died. I believe it's 2 firefighters died. I gotta look it up. And the reason that they died was because the Siamese connection. So for those who don't know what the Siamese connection is, let me Shinko explain it for you. Whenever you go past a big building and you ever see like these 2 little like knobs sticking out the side of the building, and They're either green, red, or yellow. That's a Siamese connection. So that's a connection that the fire department uses to pump water into wherever they need to pump water to. Whether if it's green, it's a sprinkler system. If it's red, it's a standpipe system, which is that big pipe that you see in the stairwell with all those hoses. And if it's yellow, it's a combination of both. And what happened was that Siamese connection was broken, so the water in the Deutsche building, cannot be fed up to suppress the fire, and firefighters died. So the New York City Fire Department had taken over all sprinkler inspections. So again, I'm 18 years old. My job was to make sure that sprinkler systems were working and people didn't burn to a crisp, and a time where the fire department was making sure that people were doing their fucking jobs. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the reason why those 2 firefighters died, because of the broken Siamese connection, and it had turned out that the sprinkler inspector that was assigned to that building did not show up for 6 months. So imagine being an 18-year-old with that type of that type of lens on you. You 18-year-old, fresh in the game. You supposed to make sure people ain't gonna die, and the fire department is on your ass. That was my job. And like I said, I was doing my job, but then the money started getting funny. Did I sit there and complain all the time? No, I spoke to my boss twice. I gave him 2 chances. I do a 3-strike thing. One time I wanted to invest in something. I said, dude, I need my money. If you're not getting my money, let me know ahead of time, and so I could make arrangements. He said, yeah. Didn't fuck me up. I said, okay. Then I wanted to do MMA. Like, this was the first time I wanted to do MMA. So I said, dude, I'm doing something serious, something I really want to be a part of. You're not gonna give me my money, let me know. Again, didn't pay me. No, strike 3. I found out I was having a baby, and I just told the dude, like, yo, I'm out. Like I said, I didn't sit there bitching, I wasn't getting my money. I sat and I found another job. Funny thing, I tried to find a job in other companies. At this time, this was, again, like early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. Okay. A lot of people couldn't believe that I had started doing this job at 18 years old and nobody wanted to hire me. So I became a customer service representative at a medical laboratory. And my spiel was I was able to take the sense of urgency, the sense of priority, customer satisfaction, and transfer it into this customer service role. And I did. 3 years passed by. I didn't go anywhere. I watched people get past me. Like, I watched people pass me over in terms of leadership roles. Did I sit there and get mad? No. I knew I couldn't talk to my manager because she wasn't the type of person to, like, deal with. She was one of those managers that was just there to collect the check. She wasn't there to shake up nobody. She wasn't there to rattle no cages. So I knew I couldn't do this anymore. So I did, but I wanted to make more money because I didn't see any money in working as a customer service rep at a medical laboratory. So then I worked in IT. I did training. I went ahead and got a certification. And I started working IT for like 7 years. It's just that simple, dude. Instead of sitting there waiting for everything to come to you, if you're not getting it fast enough, you either fight for it or you go someplace else. Why is that so goddamn hard? Because you just want to sit there and you want stuff handed to you, like some kind of welfare recipient.
Please go fuck yourself. Don't ever speak ever again. You've never been in that position. You've never been mistreated. You're a little shithead who sits on the fucking internet and acts like you know.
Again, but you got paid though, right? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, you've never been in a position where you never got paid. You've never been in a position where you had to go ahead and use your own savings. You've never been in a position where you had to go and do side jobs and shit like that. You don't know about mistreatment, dude. You really don't. Okay? The fact that you're sitting there in a fucking condo, act like you've been through some shit, it really shows you don't know what mistreatment is. Because at least you got to go to trainings and shit. You got to pick up, you should have taken that time to pick up the tools of the trade. So you didn't get mistreated. You got extra you got extra, what's the word I'm looking for? You had extra opportunities to go ahead and blossom into a different type of employee where you could go ahead and become something better, but you decided to sit back and wait. You've never been mistreated, dude. Is that you just sat there and didn't get what you want, what you were promised. Because the guy who promised it to you was not working there anymore.
Something about something. You don't know shit because you were never selected because you're not a fucking talented person, so you don't understand.
So, okay, but you were a talented person, but where are we now, DSP? What are we doing now? Did you go to another company and take those talents? No, you went ahead and you suckled onto the teat of John Rambo and held onto his nutsack while he helped you with your YouTube career. And then you suckled onto the teat that is YouTube, bleeding them out of ad revenue. And then even then, didn't do anything to expand, didn't do anything to take your channel to the next level. And then you waited and waited until they had a change in policy, which companies are always going to have. And instead of adapting with the times, instead of changing your business module, you ran to Twitch, suckled on the teat there, and waited and waited and waited and waited until you got unpartnered, and now you suckle on the teat of YouTube. You're not talented. You just know when to hook your you just know when to latch your hooks into something, DSP. You were never selected for anything. You were never selected for nothing in life. You weren't selected to be the one. You weren't selected to be the main character. You weren't selected to be the guy that everybody's supposed to look to. So calm it down, dude. You were never selected neither. That's why you're here begging for tips. That's why you're sitting here begging for money from mentally disabled people while a person who is a former fan of yours is sitting there making tons of money. Doing fuck all bullshit. Because I don't even know what PewDiePie does anymore. He doesn't play video games anymore, does he? So while you're sitting here trying to dangle the newest releases in front of your mentally disabled audience, PewDiePie is going ahead and making millions doing God knows what.
What it means to be overworked, misused, or promised the world and then screwed over because no one liked you to begin with. No one recognized shit within you, so it's easy for you to sit there and say, oh, it's just corporate America, man. You put yourself in that position. Now, fuck you. Don't ever speak again. No one cares about your
Who are you talking to?
opinion. The reason that Activision Blizzard, the reason why the company I worked for gets away with it is because of people like you. So shut the fuck up and don't ever speak up again about it because no one cares. You're misinformed. You don't know anything about it. Okay? Now, getting back to the subject. Okay? Activision Blizzard should be sued for this. Everyone today who is getting fired or laid off by Activision Blizzard.
All right, sorry. I just let the thing roll because Little Floor was screaming a little bit. But again, DSP, you were never selected for anything. You were never meant to be the golden child of an entire company. Nobody believes that, dude. Again, you went ahead and you were probably promised a leadership position by somebody who had a structural plan in place. That person left the company and the company was going in a different direction. They didn't know what to do with you because the person who had a plan with what to do with you left. But again, instead of you just getting up and going to another company, you sat there and molded like a little bitch and waited until they let you go. You were never mistreated, bro. You were just dealing with, that's just the nature of the beast. Because you want communism? Because communism isn't going to give you what you think you want. You're not going to get the world. You're not going to get a better pay. You're going to get a fixed rate and you're going to like it. You're going to get rations and you're going to like it. You're going to be told what you're going to get and you're going to like it. So don't sit here and think that, oh, because corporate America stifled you, which they didn't. Now all of a sudden we have to change our whole economic process. That makes no sense, bro.
should be getting together and forming a class action lawsuit and suing them and saying, here's what we were told, here's what we were promised, completely lied to, completely misused, and these companies need to be taken to task for it. Because Bobby Kotick, the reason why he's protected, the reason why his company is a piece of dog shit right now, and everyone hates him, but he is protected, is because of this. Because everyone says, meh, oh well, that's corporate America. No, enough is enough. Really, enough is enough. If the laws are protecting these companies,
again, he's going through like legal matters and stuff, man.
We need to change the laws. Enough of having a major corporation completely misusing and hurting people and making them ruin their lives. These people moved across the country. They uprooted their lives from wherever they were living to move to this place with the promise of, oh, you're going to get a long-standing job. You're going to get pay raises. You're going to get this and that. Oh, well, we're done with the project. Fuck you. You're fired. What the fuck are you talking about? I ruined my life over this, you know? You know, and again, people are going to say, well, Phil makes it personal. Yeah, you want to know why I owned that condo in Connecticut? That's why. I uprooted my life. I bought that condo in Connecticut to live near that job, that helicopter job.
Again, you dummy. Who told you to take out a condo? You could have got an apartment. You took out a whole goddamn condo. You bought property for a job. Like, are you serious? You're the dummy. Again, what is it? Again, the Polo Calvi cat water filter. Like, you just had to buy the latest and greatest house? You couldn't just get like a little studio apartment just to see how it worked out and then moved out to a better place? You bought a whole goddamn condo? Dude, that's your fault. That's nobody's fault but yourself. And for what? A leadership position? Weren't you already living in Connecticut? So wait, you were already living in Connecticut and you uprooted your life to go where? Like what, Darien or something? Because he's from Bridgeport, right? That's your fault. Nobody told you to get a condo, dummy.
And the promise that I was going to get good stuff. I told him, I'll work extra hours. I'll live close. I'll be the guy that when there's a snowstorm outside, I'll be the guy to still come to work because I only live 3 blocks away. I'll be the one to come in.
And thank you for making, oh, ding, 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 ding. Another, I love it. Another way. Phil just deadass just ruined his, like, he's just an idiot. So the guy volunteered himself as a whipping boy. So it wasn't, so thank you, DSP. So it wasn't even that you were working hard and busted your ass. You just volunteered to be their whipping boy. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going on 32 minutes. We're about 33 minutes. So there we go. So the whole Connecticut, the whole helicopter story has been debunked by Phil Burnell himself. He just self-debunked himself. So the reason why he got laid off and he didn't get mistreated is that the person in charge who had a vision for Phil and a vision for the organizational structure of the company was gone, and therefore they had to do a reorg. They didn't know what to do with Phil because they couldn't put Phil in the position that was promised by the previous leadership. And the only reason he was promised that was because he put himself out there as a whipping boy. Shit, I work hard. I put in extra hours, but I was nobody's whipping boy. I just did my job to the best of my abilities, which was way better than what everybody else did around me. But no. So this dude really went out there toe tapping for these motherfuckers and then got mad because they didn't know what to do with him because the person who knew what to do with him left the company. Okay, now we're going on 35 minutes. I'm done. I already got finished. I'll catch y'all later.